Agriculrtuee, and welcome everyone to Agriculrtuee Backyard Garden with me, Michel Juno Suede. This isn't gonna be a regular thing, but I just decided I had my camera and my tripod with me because I was supposed to do a video for somebody today, but it was cancelled. So I just decided, since I have time right now, I might as well do or make use of this time in a very valuable way. So in this video feature, because I have my Agriculrtuee shirt and I'm in the botanical garden in Dominica, I decided I'm gonna speak about some things which I think should be mandatory, or some things that should be implemented within our whole agriculture sector, which I think is important for us as Dominicans, mainly as Dominicans, but Caribbean people and the world by extension. It should be very much compulsory that the Ministry of Agriculture have a collaboration with the Ministry of Housing or Planning Division, and also with the banks and financial lending institution, to make it compulsory that homeowners take the whole idea of backyard gardening serious. For example, especially those who are cutting down trees to build new homes. Some persons have homes, or they would build their new homes and they would cut down like 5,000 square feet of land. Cut down the trees, not land, but trees. They will cut down 5,000 square feet of trees on a land, and when they cut it down, they'll build a fancy house that is good. You work hard for it, of course, you deserve it. And they would pave the entire yard. They would pave the entire yard, and that is, Mother Nature is just like, why are you doing this to me? So I think it should be compulsory that people who cut down land, especially, or who clear land, I keep saying cut down land, those who clear land to build, it should be compulsory that they practice backyard garden, or they plant back some fruit trees on their property. Because at the end of the day, it's going to affect us, okay? It's going to affect our climate, it's going to affect our environment. If they don't want to plant, if they're saying, hey, I'm not planting, you cannot force me to plant, if there's a policy in place which would also which would facilitate or would have the cooperation of the bank and the financial lending institution to put a fee in place, an environmental fee possibly, where homeowners, especially when they cut down land which had trees before, that they pay a monthly fee. Can you imagine being in an environment like that? Cool air, clean air, trees around you, the birds chirping, versus the possibility of concrete floor, concrete ground, concrete house, and that's just so ridiculous. We all got to eat, right? I mean, how can you say that you want to be a banker, you want to be a doctor, you build your house, you buy your land, you pave your yard, and you want to say you've got your fancy job, you've got your fancy car, you've got your fancy house, and you don't want trees in your yard? Too much leaves falling, but yet still you want to survive, yet still you want to live. You become a doctor, you become a lawyer, you become all this profession in life in order for you to live, but yet still you don't want to do what it takes to live. This world is our responsibility, we have to take care of it. So I think there should be something in place with the agriculture sector, or forestry possibly, working in collaboration with planning division, housing division, and also financial sector of Dominica. And mainly this policy, or these things I'm saying, I'm speaking because of Dominica, I'm speaking in relation to Dominica. If you think it can be implemented in your country, in your district, wherever it is, possibly take that up with the ministry, your different ministries. So I think there should be a policy in place which would be make it mandatory that persons with empty lots, or those who are cutting down lots to build house, should plant back. If they don't want to plant back fruit trees in their yard, they're making compulsory that they pay a fee like over $100 every month. It should be compulsory in high school that children learn agriculture, and especially for CXC, that in Dominica, that agriculture become a compulsory subject. Yes, we are the nature isle of the Caribbean. We are supposed to be the food basket of the Caribbean, where we can produce all things, right? Except for apple, apparently, because we're not in Canada. But the point is that we are the nature isle of the Caribbean. We've got lush valleys, we've got rainfall, we've got 365 rivers on record. We've got a lot going for us. We've got the soil, we've got the skilled persons. So I think agriculture should be compulsory in CXC, especially for Dominica. Especially for Dominica. Our students need to know the importance of doing agriculture. Our students need to appreciate the environment, they need to appreciate how it is that food is produced, how is it that it is consumed, how it's affecting our body, how can we then put it back to Mother Earth. These things are compulsory because we have to preserve where we live in, we have to preserve our environment. And some of these young persons do not respect the environment. They do not know the importance of the environment. You will see children coming up from school and they just be throwing plastic bottles all over the place. They don't know the importance of the environment. Now, if it's a compulsory subject, they have no choice but to learn it, to appreciate what we've got. Because when we see we're not appreciating it, I can guarantee you, before we know it, God will take it away from us, and we'll be crying way up about it. What did we do? What did we do? We fail to encourage our young people. We fail to make it mandatory that the young persons learn agriculture. We on the English and we on the maths because that's what the world is saying. How about we set our standard in Dominica and make agriculture mandatory in CXC, mandatory in high school, so that our persons who have the agricultural mindset, those who are educated in the agricultural field, if it's compulsory, then we'll have more teachers, possibly new employment right there. Another thing also, I think, maybe I wouldn't make it mandatory for students to learn it because I mean it's in primary school, but every school should have a backyard garden. Every school should have a backyard garden. Every school. There should be something in place which will give the school allowance to have a backyard garden. Every primary school. And then when they learn these things in primary school, they can then take that education and go back home and say, hey mom, we need to break down all that concrete we've got on the ground because I don't want to grow banana. I see how easy it is to grow it. I see how marvelous and miraculous it is to grow my own crop. Can we break down that whole paved wall and paved ground we've got here? Can we? This is the impact we've got to have in Dominica within our agricultural sector. We've got to impact the young person so they'll impact or have an influence or they'll affect the whole idea of how the parents think when they build in their house. Then if we have something in place for the agricultural sector which would say that it's mandatory, that the business, the banks, the financial sector say that the homeowners have to have a backyard garden, that will change their whole mindset. If it is that high schoolers know that it's mandatory that they do agriculture in high school, they'll appreciate the environment, they take agriculture more seriously, maybe they'll go into the agricultural sector career, you never know. So these things I think should be done. I really think this should be done. Something else I think that we should be doing in Dominica, we should have an organic landfill. An organic landfill. Every day it have organic material being thrown in the landfill, the island landfill, where it's mixed with plastic products, tires, these sort of things. It's been wasted. We are basically dumping gold. Through my backyard garden, I've seen the importance of composting, and I've seen how amazing it is to transform a sandy backyard garden, where I was only able to grow like pigeon peas or peas, and I was able to transform it into such a lush backyard garden because I've been practicing organic farming. I've been taking my compost material from my home, digging holes, burying it, making compost heap and these sort of things, and I've seen how awesome it is that it transformed my sandy soil to very loamy soil, earthworms in the soil. Imagine if we're doing that on a grand scale in Dominica, and do not tell me it's impossible. If I can think of it, it's possible. If you can think of it, it's possible. Great ideas come because we think of it. Of course it's laughable at times. Yes, that's why it's laughable, because it's a great idea that have not been implemented. So yes, it's laughable, but it is possible. I mean, we can have an organic landfill if funds are allocated to doing something like that. Of course it can be implemented where we have a special truck picking up organic material, where villagers and householders would put their organic waste in a special bin. Maybe that's another innovative idea where somebody can create a bin which would hold the compost material, where you put the compost material in the bin in your house, but the odor will not affect your house or your environment. It will just be like almost like how you have a toilet, how you flush the waste and the scent from the septic tank will never come into your house. That's the same way something can be created. That's an employment opportunity, innovative opportunity. Create this bin, then this bin now will be picked up by a special truck, modifier truck, and it will be taken to a landfill. A landfill that's organic, a landfill where they will be taking waste material like banana peeling, orange peeling leaves, put it on the ground, cover it with some soil, let it decompose, add more, and then with this portion, leave it decompose, get the next portion. By the time this portion is ready, then you mix it with manure from the pig pens. You then have something next in place for the farmers to bring their waste, and then you pay the farmers. When you pay the farmers, they have an income. They practice organic farming right away. Some of them, they can take that same waste from the manure and put in their farm, but I'll come back to that. I don't want to stray from it. So anyway, take that manure and that compost and create some organic fertilizer, dry it, sterilize it properly, bag it. Either you sell it to people from Dominica who if all these other policies or all these ideas I said, if it's implemented, then they will definitely demand it. Because if you have household, if you have schools, if you have students learn agriculture as a compulsory subject, they will start to buy these products. Now, when all this is produced, all this organic waste, all these manures, all these things are produced, then now the farmers have no choice, for those of them who are producing bananas and other crops. Because there's no demand for organic and natural product, they will have no choice but, hey, I need to buy that because that's what's in demand. You have students who now know the value of organic farming. They now know the value of agriculture. So they are now saying, I do not, hey, what are you feeding your bananas? And you say fertilizer, synthetic fertilizer, and they'll say, sorry sir, I went to school. I know the importance of practicing organic farming. I know the importance of eating healthy. I don't want your banana, sir. And then this sir right now, the farmer right now will sit down and start to scratch his head and say, what can I do? But hey, here is that they're selling this organic compost material. Let me test this out on a certain portion of my lot. Let me clear the lot, let me allow the land to rest so that all this rubbish and chemicals that I've implemented into the soil, they will die out and flush out. Then I will buy the compost material. Let me try it. Let me try this product. So what are you selling here? I'm selling banana. It's organic. I've got the product from the landfill, the organic landfill. So I will buy it. I know the importance of it. Oh sir, also can I buy it for me to export? Then now in the other countries there's a demand for organic product. Because you see right now everybody's concerned about how long they will live. And one of the things that's basically killing us right now is all this chemical and nonsense that we're eating. There's cancer and all these diseases which is miraculously coming out of nowhere. No, it's not all miraculous. It's us eating all this synthetic rubbish. It's us eating all this canned stuff. It's all us eating all these chemical bananas, all these injected corn and peanuts, all these things we are eating, and it's not organic. But if we change our lifestyle, if our governments, if those who are in position to implement these things, change their whole mentality and their lifestyle, then that will affect the children. When we make it mandatory that they eat practice farming in the primary schools, maybe not the students, but when the school have a garden, it will influence the students. The students will influence the parents. The parents will start eating healthy because their students or their children are now talking about eating healthy. In high school, those who mind are more burdened right now, they now know the importance of agriculture because it's a compulsory subject. It's mandatory. Here it is that they leave high school with that idea of the importance of agriculture. They are the bankers, they work in the credit union, they are the policy implementers. Here it is that they have careers, they're police, they're doctors, they're lawyers. They know the importance of these things. They are now demanding when they go to the market healthy products. The farmers now have no choice but to supply the healthy products. They are now demanding the organic compost material from the landfill. And we've got a cycle. And we've got a cycle in the agricultural sector in Dominica. So these things can be implemented. These things should be implemented. Because it's important. We've got this blessed land. It's like you're telling me you can sing well, you've got this opera voice, you've got this voice which can change pitch so well, right? But instead you're gonna try to be a footballer. You're horrible at it, you suck at it, it's horrible. You're kicking the ball, when the ball is finally going to the goal, your foot is so crooked that it's going behind you. But you can sing, but you decide you're gonna test this football career and it's bringing you nowhere. And right away there's a demand for people who can sing nice, but instead you're playing football. There's a demand for organic product. There's a demand for healthy crops. There's a demand because people want to live long. Cancer is on the rampage. There's a demand for it. So therefore we have to supply it because God has given us everything necessary for us to supply it. So why aren't we taking that into consideration? Why aren't we implementing these things compulsory? Put laws in place, put policy in place, start to put fees. And if all these things are done, then people will change their mentality. So we've got what it takes. We've got a blessed land, we've got a blessed island, our people are talented, we've got the hands, we've got the knowledge. Let's implement a more vigorous policy to take care of our agriculture sector, demanding our people take agriculture very serious. I hope indeed that you stayed for the entire video listening to me. I hope indeed that you also like my other videos. Check out the other videos so you can learn how to do backyard garden. The rain is kind of getting strong. I'm quite sure, oh no, it's gonna fall for a while because the cloud, it was falling earlier, but there was blue and there was grey, so it was just a passing cloud, but it's very grey up there now. So thank you very much guys. Remember, subscribe to Agriculrtuee Backyard Garden. If you guys want me to react to a very innovative video out there which is talking about agriculture sector, food sustainability and healthy eating, of course let me know, comment below so I can react to it on Tuesday, from Impromptu Tuesday. Thank you very much, and remember guys, a backyard garden in some ways to keep the doctors away. And Agriculrtuee is out.